In the still of the night, I think of you.
He smiled. I hope we are, because I want to do things to you that require we date. You! She tried to push away from him and jump off the counter. I was joking. He laughed and held on to her. Let me sweep off the plates you shattered when I kissed you senseless. She rolled her eyes at him and watched as he got the long broom from the cupboard. She felt herself shudder with feelings. There he was, a billionaire, tall, strong, immovable. And yet there he was, his sleeves rolled up and sweeping her kitchen. She would never understand this man. 1 minute, he was hot, towering over her, kissing her, and turning her into a brain-dead idiot. The next minute, he was cold and shattering her heart. Was he toying with her? Was she being manipulated by an expert narcissist? As much as she wanted him with all that makes her a woman, she was afraid they were moving too fast. It hadn't even been a few days her mom brought up the topic, but see where they were already. It all seemed as if he couldn't wait to get into her pants. What would happen when he got enough of that? Or when he got tired of her? Surely relationships should have more foundation than sex. All done and safe again, he caught into her thoughts. Thank you. The rest of the cleaning passed with the two of them more into their individual thoughts than conversing with each other. It was like each was trying to figure it all out. It did not take long for them to finish and leave the kitchen. For two people who have decided they could be dating, they were more awkward with each other. She watched as he picked up his jacket, then smiled at her. You look like you want to flee? He crossed the little space between them. There is no fleeing from this. Why? Because you want to sleep with me? He smiled. I am not sex-starved, star. It's only a phone call away. She did not know how to respond to that. Come, walk me to my car and relax. We have time to figure it all out. She shrugged her shoulders and followed him out. They walked to his car. Just as he was about to get in, her neighbor, the doctor, walking his dog, walked past them and stopped. Hi, Summer, he smiled. The dog let out a friendly bark and she stooped down to pet him. He likes you. So does the owner. Stanley gritted his teeth. Oh, hi. The doctor turned to him. I am Dr. Yemi. Stanley did not respond or offer his hands. Summer stood up, hearing the hardness in his voice. Dr. Yemi is our next door neighbor. I better be going. We are still on this Wednesday for the date you still owe me. The doctor smiled. Stanley narrowed his eyes. I will call you doctor. He nodded and left. He's a bold one, quite impressive. Impressive? Babe. When you get to know me better, you'll find I am extremely territorial. There will be no more dates from other men from now on. Lion! They heard the doctor shout on his dog as he ran back towards them wagging his tail. You are mine. Mine alone. He maneuvered her so her back was on the car and he kissed her. He kept the kiss going as both dog and doctor reached them and left again heartbroken, both man and dog. She let herself be kissed senseless again. He broke the kiss, then he set her aside and pressed the remote for his car. Keep what's mine away from the good doctor. She smiled. I'm not yours yet. Good thing you have a few days to decide. I'm flying out first thing tomorrow morning. She could not understand the waves and waves of loneliness that suddenly crashed into her. I thought the funeral is this weekend. I'll be back before then. He got into his car. Remember, no dates with a doctor, not a single one. With that, he drove off. She stood looking at his tail lights, feeling like she had been dragged bareback across the desert. With a deep sigh, she turned to walk back into her house. The rest of the week passed with Star missing Stanley, tossing and turning at night, remembering the heated embraces, the domineering way he held her immobile, while he rendered her senseless with his lips. In the daytime, she did not think of him less, but it was better because she had other activities to distract her. Even with the myriad and roller coaster of emotions only he could stir in her, she was still afraid. She wanted with all that made her a woman to date him. She needed him in her life like she needed air to breathe. So what was the problem? Why was she hesitating from taking what she had always wanted? She heaved a sigh and got into her car. She was headed to Umma to get her dress for the funeral. Most of her friends would be there, and she wanted to see if she would have the courage to solicit their expert advice, seeing how they all managed to get themselves alpha males like the one she loved. Love? She exclaimed. Yes, she accepted. She also accepted it did not begin with what her mom said to her. It did not begin when she kissed him in her sleep. It started all those years ago in secondary school. He was the first man she loved. He was the first man to break her young heart. Like it or not, he was the only man she would ever love. So it did not matter if she accepted to date him or not. It didn't matter if he was just toying with her or not. She had been in love with him since she was 15, and it seemed she would always be. So regardless of her fears of being broken by him, with no wooing, whining and dining from him, she would be his forever. Star got to Mma's private studio and knocked slightly. As she was about to open the door, Uche opened it. He was about to leave, but stopped when he saw her at the door. She smiled and pretended not to notice that he looked very much disheveled. Who's there? It's only Star, he replied as Mma came to find out for herself. He turned and kissed her hard and fast. Pick you up by 7? It's girls' night out, she reminded him. Not anymore. He winked at her. Star watched her melt at her husband's wink, like she was seeing it for the first time. Wow, it's so hot right now. I need a cold room or something, Star said as Mma ushered her into her studio. How are you doing? Mma was all smiles. Your zipper is down? Mma laughed gleefully. Nothing as good and great like making up after a fight. All is good in love paradise then, Helen peeped from the doorway, walking into the room with her protruding tummy. My goodness, you are the reason we've all been tiptoeing around him for days now. Sometimes, you have to let them know that it's not all smiles in love paradise. Men can be dense at times, even one as smart as my husband. I am sorry he took it out on you guys. How exactly did you do that? Why do you ask? Helen smiled mischievously at her. Nothing. I might be in a position someday where I have to make a man see my point. Oh well, that woman with the talk show, Billionaires with Bumi, after her interview with my husband, she started trying to become close to him, forming friendship, but I could see right through her. I warned him about what she really wanted, but he thought I was just overreacting. Men never see it until it's too late, Eva walked in smiling. She began asking for investment advice, inviting him to stupid seminars to speak. Then she began calling him at all hours, even at night. My smart husband still could not see it. We fought about it every now and then. He turned it all around on me, saying I could trust him, and my lack of trust when he has never given me a reason not to trust him was insulting and unappreciative of me. So I stopped speaking to him. Since he preferred to speak with Bumi, he should go ahead. But that's going to chase him into her hands. A man who loves you will never be comfortable if your relationship is strained, especially if that's not what he's used to. He would miss you like crazy. Tessie, who just walked in, interjected. Star nodded silently, taking notes. Then Sunday night, he was in the bathroom. His phone beside me was buzzing like crazy, with messages. I was going to ignore them, but when I saw who it was from, I looked at the messages. There she professed her love for him and said she was tired of pretending, sent him some nude pictures. What? They all exclaimed. You should see the dirty body she sent him. I mean, not when he's used to this. She gestured her body, and they all giggled. So we had a big fight, and I left the room. He had been trying to get my attention ever since. He deleted her and blocked her number, showed me. I did not budge. She went to his social media, he also blocked her there. So today he barged into my office, and well, I love him too much. Much more each passing day. What can I say? The man knows how and what buttons to press. Why am I just hearing this? She just called Charles to invite him to her stupid talk show. Mma, you are very calm. I wouldn't have been that calm. I'm testing Charles now. I give her points for strategy, Suddenly Helen turned to Star. I heard something about you and Stanley. Oh my goodness, I knew it. When he swooped in and carried you home the night of the charity ball, Elsie exclaimed. They all began to giggle and to talk at the same time. Nothing is going on between us. Nothing serious anyway. Finally, come on babe, finally. You've loved him since we were 15. The others looked at them shocked. Details now please. Nothing to tell. We are still circling each other. Star, need I remind you I'm very pregnant and heavily curious? Have you had your first kiss yet? Just looking at their faces, genuinely excited and happy for her, she succumbed and told them about how she had kissed him in her sleep and a few more details. I am happy for you, Star, you deserve it all. I don't know. I have to first of all win him from Betty and IJ, who is trying to resurface in his life. Stop! Don't think like that. He's the one who has to win you. You're a rare gem, Star. If he can't see the difference between you and the others, then don't bother. How do I know he sees the difference? Love. How men die and live for you, yet do not understand you, Elsie said. I am definitely stealing that quote. You know from the way he kisses you. He should kiss you like you are the very air he breathes. He should strain to get close to you, like he can't get close enough, like he can't get enough of you. Stanley is a strong man who likes to be in control. Your kisses should make him lose control. He should always want to be with you and should be willing to move mountains to get to you. They all turned to look at her, waiting for her answer. Everything you said I have experienced from kissing and holding him, then don't bother about the others. He may not realize it yet or even accept it, but they are meaningless to him. Everything but the control part. Sometimes I get these Red Room vibes from him. Red Room? They all chorused, looking at her curiously. You mean like 50 Shades of Grey? Helen asked. She could see the change in their vibe as understanding dawned on them. Okay, I'm trying to remember if he has a locked room in his house that no one goes into. I did not say, how did you come to this conclusion? Uma asked. I have not concluded anything. I just said I get the feeling. How? Oh goodness. Star muttered and covered her face with her hands. It's either you tell us or I ask Chuck. Her head shut up immediately. You can't do that, please. You can't do that. Tell us then. Pregnancy has really changed you, she said to Helen. The words he uses sometimes, like obey, punish, reward, and how he likes to be in total control. The few times we've kissed or made out, he would hold my hands over my head, immobilize me one way or the other. Please, nothing is conclusive. I just get the vibe. Don't ask your husbands, please. Of course not, but no promises. If that's the case, I know just the dress to make him fall for you. Dominant alpha males, I understand. The rest of the afternoon passed with measurements taken, sketches done, and mixed laughter and jokes. Later, they all went out for a late lunch. Star came home feeling happier than she had ever felt in a long while. She loved those women. She could not even remember or believe there was a time her relationship with Uma and Helen was strained. They seemed to have forgotten that one episode back at Eden Castle, when she was feeling lonely, left behind, or even abandoned. Just as she stepped out of her car, Dr. Yemi appeared from nowhere. Hi, Summer. Startled, she returned his greetings. I am sorry I startled you. I saw you come home and I came to say hi. She smiled at him and got out of the car. So, are we going on that date anytime soon? Or billionaire boyfriend won't agree to it? Having a billionaire boyfriend doesn't stop me from hanging out with a neighbor. As far as we both understand, it's not a date. Did you have a boyfriend before you agreed to go out with me? She turned sharply at him. I have one now, but I have already promised you. The best I can do, hang out as friendly neighbors or not at all. Hang out, of course. Who knows? You might find out I'm more charming than Mr. Billionaire. Tomorrow 7 p.m., he smiled and left. A little shaken after the conversation, she walked to her house somehow dreading the next day.
In the still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of you. You're the one I can't let go. In your arms I find my home. Love, sweet love.